We're back in the book club and it's time to get weird. This is Root Rot. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson and this is the place where normally I talk to you about Stephen King, but in this spin-off series I talk to you about great books. Yes, this is my book club where I tell you about books that I've read recently that I've enjoyed and that I think you will too. And in each episode I will give you a synopsis of the book in question, a bit about the author, my spoiler-free review, and I will try and align it to a Stephen King book to give you a bit of a point of reference and help you decide whether, maybe I will give this one a try. And if you do give it a try and you read it and you enjoy it, make sure you review it on places like Goodreads and Amazon and rave about it on your own social media channels or to your friends and family in real life. Buy them copies of the book for gifts, all of those kind of things. Help spread the word, help people find these books. Sound good? Cool. Now, just before we get into this week's book, which is Root Rot, a couple of quick plugs from me. So I will keep these quick. All of the links are in the description, but basically the things I like to plug here are my own collection of short stories. Once More Around the Sun is won a few awards. If you like Stephen King, you will like it. My range of Stephen King themed band shirts where I mash up well-known band logos with Stephen King properties. If you like Stephen King, you'll like them. And lastly, if you enjoy what I do on this channel, you can become a member, become a constant viewer, support me directly, get extra content, all of that kind of stuff. As I say, links for all three of those things are somewhere in the description. Okay, so this time, as I mentioned, we're going to Root Rot by Saskia Nislow, which is a weird fever dream-like piece of dark literary fiction that is out today. If you're watching this video, the day it drops, 25th of March 2025. Let's get into it, shall we? Here's Root Rot on the book club. Okay, here's your synopsis of Root Rot by Saskia Nislow. Come meet the liar, the secret keeper, the crybaby, and the rest. 9 children travel with their families to their grandfather's vacation property where strange things begin to happen. Eyes blink from the bottom up. Mushrooms ooze blood. People's faces don't hang right anymore, except they do once you look more closely. Transformations warp the children's sense of time and place, the very land itself seeming to encroach upon them. As the liar watches the children succumb one by one to an unknown fate, she must make sense of absent stars in the night sky, vials of amber liquid the taste of milk, a funny little rope tied in knots. She's faced with a choice, join or resist, only the choice is not so simple. Set in the grandfather's lake house as he continues to extend his property lines and told in the eerie way of the children, Root Rot explores predatory family dynamics, the boundaries of bodies and home, and how individuals choose to participate in or push back against structures that would harm them. And here's a very little bit about the author. This is basically all I could find. Saskia Nislow is a writer, ceramicist, and psychoanalytic training candidate based in Brooklyn, New York. So as your background, let's get into my spoiler-free review of Root Rot. So I'm going to start with a quote from this that just really leapt out at me and kind of sums up what I enjoyed about this book. It's not the growing that makes the soil rich. It's the dying, the rotting. That's what makes it alive. Isn't that funny? So how on earth do I start to sum up this weird, fever dream, gothic kind of fairy tale piece of literary oddness? I really don't know, but I liked it. Everything about it was just uncanny. From the setting to the characters with no real names, the looming atmosphere, and the just sheer oddness of what happens in this book, and these dark images that are peppered throughout, like backwards feet and things just not being right. So we broadly follow a family's vacation to their grandfather's place in the woods, and we see the whole story from the kids' point of view. But we never know the names of these kids. We're just told that they are known as the liar, the crybaby, the one with the beautiful voice, and plenty more of that. And that immediately becomes unsettling and discombobulating. Like from the start, this story doesn't sit right, and it doesn't sit right in exactly the kind of way you want a horror story to not sit right. The kids are off exploring the woods and discovering weird mushrooms and then enduring awkward meal times and terrifying nights. They wake up with vague memories of what might have gone on, but they're never really sure what's true and what isn't. And then there's the mystery of the baby. Like, where did she go? What happened to her? How did she get under the bed? Why has she got dirt under her nails? And I appreciate I'm just throwing questions at you here, and if you've not read the book, this won't make sense. But honestly, they're the kind of things I can't stop chewing over having read this. The longer this book goes on, the more unsettling it becomes. The family turns more mysterious, everything gets darker, everything gets more menacing, and I think the best way I can describe it is you just start to feel itchy. And there's so many off-kilter images that just add to that itchiness. Familiar faces that are no longer familiar, body parts that aren't arranged in the right way, mushrooms that look like bodies and that bleed, babies eating drywall. It's all random as heck and deeply unsettling and a thoroughly enjoyable read. Okay, so trying to align this one to a Stephen King book is tricky, but how about if you took some elements of The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon and put them in a blender with the short story It Grows on You and the other short story The Bone Church, and maybe you'd have something close to Root Rot. Maybe. So to sum up with this, the writing on this one is absolutely lush. It is atmospheric and completely unnerving. At once you're kind of swept away by its beauty, but also left feeling really anxious and really tense the whole time. I can't even come remotely close to claiming that I understood this book. It's so dark, it's so literary, it's out of my regular comfort zone, but I really enjoyed it, and I can feel like it might be one that I would go back to and look at again and try and follow different threads. There's a lot going on here in such a short amount of pages, for sure. Perhaps what unsettled me most was the occasional use of we in the narration. So most of this is kind of third-person omniscient narrator, and we know that there are 9 children there. But every so often it switches to we. And I'm just there reading it like, well, who is we? Is this a 10th child? Is there somebody else there? And I both want to know and don't want to know at the same time. So thanks so much to NetGalley and the publishers for the review copy of this. Root Rot by Saskia Nislow is out right now, today as this video drops, 25th of March 2025. If you're looking for something weird, literary, dark, and all kinds of unsettling, this is the one for you. Okay, there we go, another episode of the Book Club done. Do let me know what you think of The Sounds of Root Rot. Will you be picking this one up? It's not going to be for everyone, but I think if you're into that sort of more challenging stuff, you will get a lot from this. There's still lots of images in this book that I just cannot shake from my head, and I love it all the more for that. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to all of the things I like to plug, my t-shirt range, my collection, becoming a member of this channel. And check out some of my other videos if you like. I've got loads, literally hundreds of Stephen King ones, and there's lots more to explore here on the Book Club as well. Lots more books for you to check out. And I will be back again soon. So I will see you either for a Stephen King video or back here next week for another book recommendation here on the Book Club. But thanks everyone for stopping by. Happy reading, and I will see you soon.